Welcome to Truth, Money, and Freedom. Today is Saturday, March 23rd, 2019. I have an update on Brexit, guys, and it's solid. Basically, the EU did what it said it wouldn't do and offer a short-term extension to Britain on the Brexit. So it's now put off till April 12th. There's a timeline and a series of events that must happen, though. So I'm going to make this pretty quick. Here's the way it goes. The UK Parliament votes on Theresa May's deal, third time, the same deal that they have rejected twice. And if it approves her deal, which is a bad deal for England, then they have a May 22nd departure with a deal. So they leave May 22nd. If Parliament rejects, if they reject the deal, then the UK must decide by April 12th on two options. Really simple here. Leave the EU without a deal on April 12th, or agree to a long extension and participate in EU elections. Now, I hope I'm wrong here, but it's starting to look like this one here. They're going to just put off Brexit forever. So there'll never seem to be a Brexit for the British people. Now, I want to give you my thoughts on this. First off, my thoughts started with this. The EU said it wouldn't grant an extension unless they had Parliament had agreed upon something having to do with Theresa May's deal. And they obviously scrubbed that and just gave an outright extension. So I didn't expect that. I thought the EU would be hard-nosed on that because they're trying to make the leaving the EU as painful as possible. Here's my second point, because I do talk to people in Britain. They're scared. They're scared that leaving the EU is going to be devastating for them because that's what the BBC is saying. The BBC is telling everyone in Britain and in that things are just going to be horrid if they leave the EU, that the EU is the only safe place to remain, and that they made a mistake. They shouldn't have voted for the Brexit. So people are starting to get scared, and that includes Parliament. Now, hopefully Parliament is smart enough to see through the BBC because they are a propaganda machine, and they propagate lies. They mix truth in with the lies. I think those of you in Britain know what I'm talking about. But they are, basically, they've got, basically all the people in Britain afraid of the Brexit now. And they just needed a lot of time to do it. It took 2 years to frighten the crap out of the people, I think. But a Brexit would be very, very good for the British people. It's time to get out of the EU for you guys, to literally get out from under those regulations, get out from under those taxes, for which you have very, very little benefit. And hopefully, for instance, one thing I was thinking is that VAT tax would probably go away because that's, I believe that's a European Union thing. It's time to get away from these hardcore taxes and this, that, and the other. But these are the next steps, and I'll go ahead and link this article down below so you guys can see it. April 12th, key date. Donald Tusk talks about he agreed to an extension. But that's pretty much about it. I really hope that Parliament rejects May's deal because it's not good for the British people. But I think a rejection would lead to a long extension, participating in EU elections and being in, the Eurozone. I'm sorry, not the Eurozone, but the EU for, a much longer period of time, maybe even going into next year. Just seems like it's being put off forever. But I do believe that is why Theresa May is in power right now. Her job is to just keep this thing going forever and never let you guys leave. Remember now, she was against the Brexit, yet somehow she ended up being the Prime Minister, after Cameron left. But at any rate, those are my thoughts on this very important issue. And those, for my friends in Britain and everything, talk to your people in Parliament, make a phone call, write a letter. I know it doesn't work here in America with our representatives because they do whatever they want here. They don't really care what the people think. They pretend to care when they're campaigning, and then as soon as they get into office, they literally don't give a crap about what the people think. It's probably very much the same in Britain, but I would, if I were you, try to get out of the EU. You guys could be a very big power in the world again. You could have a lot of influence again. Not that you don't have influence right now, but get out from under the EU. You guys are better than that. You guys don't need them. And to my friends in America, pay attention to this process here because if they do have a hard Brexit, um, it would be it would rock the markets in a very, very big way. We're talking not upwards but downwards. We've seen it happen before just on the vote. When they left or I'm sorry, when they voted to leave in 2016, nothing changed, but the markets, were set back a lot. So this scares people, but this is a good change. This is basically unwinding big government and unelected big body of people in Brussels. Now there are some people that are elected, but a lot of them aren't. So kind of keep an eye on the story, and I'll keep an eye on it too. But now we have an April 12th date, and then this is basically the map here for approval or rejection. And I will link this down below. You guys have a wonderful day.